Whoopi Goldberg completely and utterly lost her mind, sending slime into the audience and to the viewers of The View. And how? How did she do it? Well, let's just say that she said something incorrect, untrue, misleading, and then was furious when given a notice she had to correct it on air, live, in front of the studio audience. Ripped up the paper from the lawyers. We'll show it to you right now. Hello friends, hello fam, welcome back yet again. It's the Pro Channel where we keep you ahead of the culture curve. Today we're talking about the ladies of The View who don't have to be news. They don't have to be, they could just be a fun talk show, that's what they are. But Disney refuses to change their category and their funding. And because of that, they're having no fun being forced to correct their statements that are false by attorneys who say you're gonna get the mouse sued. We'll show it to you, click the like button, and here we go. All right, the ladies of The View are melting down. It's a clown show over there, and Whoopi Goldberg is the ringleader of it all. From That Park Place by Marvin Montanero, Whoopi Goldberg melts down over an on-air legal note clarification on The View after falsely claiming President Trump uses autopen for pardons. Uh-oh. Now, this story is so interesting because Whoopi's defense is she's just a comedian. She's just joking. She's just joshing. Come on, guys. Seriously, don't be so serious. The problem for the whoopster is that the View is labeled a news program by Disney. So you can't be yuckety, yuckety, huckety, huckety if you're supposed to be in the muckety of the breaking stuff out there. Whoopi Goldberg freaked out this week over a legal note on The View after falsely stating that President Trump signs pardons with an auto pen. The incident revealed something bigger than a torn card on daytime television. It showcased a daytime talk panel that increasingly resembles political media while trying to dodge the accountability that comes with it. During Monday's episode of The View, Whoopi Goldberg tore up a written legal note clarification passed to her by co-host Sunny Hostin, who knows how to handle those things. She's had a few of them. After implying that the orange man, the Trumpster, used an auto pen to sign a high-profile pardon. When Hostin offered the correction, Goldberg reacted with a mix of irritation and disbelief, and then she pulled a Pelosi. All right, let's go to it. Here's the clip, folks. And as you watch this, remember, the reason they can't joke and say whatever they want to is because they're labeled a news program by Disney and ABC. Why are they labeled a news program by Disney and ABC when they're clearly not a news program, which puts them under the umbrella of the FCC? Because Disney wants to be able to say that they're the #1 daytime news talk show on a network. Because if Disney didn't label them a news show and say that, they get a third of the ratings of The Price is Right, for crying out loud. Here is how it went down on The View.
The Trump family has made about $1.8 billion profited off of this government. And he said that Joe Biden didn't know who he was pardoning using an auto pen. How come he don't know who this guy is?
Because he used an auto pen. Meetings with the judge.
Hold on.
Meetings that
pardoning.
Everybody listen to Whoopi's knock-knock joke. I want you to hear it again. You all decide if this is a joke or not, okay? Everybody hop in on the knock-knock joke. Knock, knock, who's there? Not the ladies of The View. They don't dare. Here we go.
Government. And he said that Joe Biden didn't know who he was pardoning using an auto pen. How come he don't know who this guy is?
Because he used an auto pen. Meetings with the judge. The meetings that...
All right, now we faded out, okay? We faded.
Look at that.
Cut to the note being passed by Sunny Hostin, who has handled these things before. She knows what's in there. She's passing it to Whoopi, the whoopster. Because the whoopster pulled a whoopsie, okay? Whoopi with a whoopsie, gonna have to fix it. Here's the cleanup. Here we go. Notes being passed over. It doesn't say check yes or no. It says read this or else. Because darn it, we've classified ourselves as a news program so that we don't have to get trounced by The Price is Right every day. We can trick people into thinking we're a really big deal.
They're supposed to go to when they're listening to what the hell, what?
I love when Sunny passes notes.
Dear
I don't know
Whoopi.
if Trump used an auto pen to part. It was a joke.
Yeah. We don't know if Trump used an auto pen.
Oh, come on.
But we do know that he didn't know who that crypto guy was.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, the hardest thing about this job now is no one understands nuance. You know when you hear a joke when somebody's fooling around, when they're
Let's go back to the joke, people. Here we go. Let's go to the knock-knock joke.
an auto pen.
Auto pen. How come you don't know who this guy is?
Because he used an auto pen.
Nuance, Marvin, nuance. Get with the program, Marvin.
Yeah. It's between the lines. You have to read between them. She can read between these lines right here.
Hey, folks say, why do you cover The View? Why do you guys do that? Like, what's the deal? You just trying to find, clicks, people, It's because we cover Disney. We cover entertainment. The View is Disney's daytime talk show on ABC. The View is protected every single day by Dana Walden, who could easily become the next CEO of the company. She's the head of linear. She's the head of TV. She's the head of the news division. The View, they classified as news. And when we see this, I mean, this is comedy gold. Not because she told a joke, but because Whoopi gets a note from Sonny. Sonny has clearly read it and knows she has to say, we don't know what we said we know. And then Whoopi rips it to shreds right there. She Pelosi's the thing. I mean, guys, this is a cacophony of incompetence on display every day that Disney keeps going to. What is going on over there?
We go on in the article to say that Sunny Hostin, clearly doesn't like when she has to read one of those notes, as evident by her face, but she read them like a trooper, like she actually read the thing. Whoopi had a hissy fit. That is a full-blown hissy fit where she tore it up. I mean, look, right there, Sunny Hostin, clearly not happy to be saying what she has to say, but she's saying it and not throwing a fit about it because she understands, okay, we have to say this.
What do you think the attorney thinks?
Above it.
What do you think the attorney thinks who's trying to keep Disney out of trouble? And Disney has all kinds of reasons to try to stay out of trouble with the Trump administration, with the federal government. What do you guys think the attorney's, what's going through his head as he watches his carefully worded correction on a news program be ripped to shreds by the whoopster? What do you guys think is going through legal's minds?
I think legal is thinking, man, I'm glad I get a really good paycheck to do this job.
They don't pay me enough.
Yeah,
they don't pay me enough.
Yeah, they probably don't, and it's really funny because you have to think the attorneys watching The View, they have to be on alert constantly because it is so likely something coming out of any of these women's mouth is absolutely going to defy the truth and reality, because I don't think that any of them live in the real world, in the world that the rest of us live in. They're in their bubble, and that's all they see. And it makes it like, have any of them not had to read a legal notice, or have they all been through it at least one point in time or another? Does anybody know? I'm just curious.
I don't
know. I can tell you.
I would imagine so.
Look at the way other daytime talk shows function, like you watch well, I know it's not Regis and Kelly anymore, but the Kelly Ripa and whoever show now, you get things like, how to save money this Thanksgiving, and like little things like slice of life things, light things. They sit out here and they're like, no one's having Thanksgiving this year because Trump. They never talk about anything but politics. They're not sitting there like, oh, this Christmas here, we'll bring in a wrapping paper expert to show you how to wrap something, like Good Morning America, which is actually a news show, actually does.
Harump, harump, Trump, harump, harump. By the way, folks, just so you know, this is why maybe Disney should consider getting The View out of being classified as news, which would only mean that it's out of that, the division. It's funded by ABC News. It's part of ABC News. They should move it out of that. Just make it entertainment. I know. Then they got to compete in, versus The Price is Right and these other, shows. But who cares? Well, who cares? Because look, this is what they're freaking out about, culture. For all the stuff they say, Forbes was reporting this back in January. Fox News is beating The View in daytime ratings. This isn't working for them. Just if they want to rant about the Orange Man and say not funny jokes, then do it and just don't be news.
Well, it would do them a service in a lot of ways. It would put them, it would make it so that they weren't in legal trouble, it seems, every single show. It would put less of a target on Disney's back and on this show's back. But look, I mean, they add so many caveats to how this show performs. There's no other way for them to get a number one show during daytime. ABC, nobody watches anymore. And I've said this before, including this morning. I'll say it again. Nobody trusts Disney, whether it's a news product, a television show, or even films. You're seeing all their ratings and earnings coming down in these areas. And now, I mean, they're going to lose on the sports front as well. So when you look at the View, it's one of the few places they can say this is the highest performing #1 daytime news program in the talk genre on a network. I mean, that's the only way they can say that, because as you point out, when they put it in entertainment, it's going to finish in 27th place because there's a lot of more entertaining things on, during that part of the day. And whether it's a game show or a repeat of a Cartoon Network show, this thing it sucks rocks as far as performance goes. And it doesn't even really matter what the demographics look like, because most likely it's a bunch of geezers that are going to go out and protest on the weekend. So nobody of consequence watches it, and nobody that buys anything is watching it. It's kind of a fail all around, bro.
Now, do you guys remember when we found out that The View was going to host its very first conservative in like a year or more? You guys remember that?
I think
is that today?
MTG. MTG's on there.
Oh, wow.
Now, when I found out that she was going to be on there, I instantly knew something was up. I'm going to play the clip for you all, okay?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm going to play the clip for you. Listen in. Here's what's happening the next day on The View.
Hope that Mike Johnson is finally giving a single health care policy. I hope that Mike Johnson is finally giving a single health care policy, because the country deserves it, and it shouldn't be a secret. And I shouldn't have to go into a skiff to go find our Republican health insurance plan.
Maybe there is no plan.
You know what? You want to know something? That, I believe, is the truth. There's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of bills, but there's no consensus. Yeah. And I think that's a failure.
So MTG, as I thought would happen, went on The View, and remember what we've been talking about in this show, folks? There's a very serious fracturing going on right now. The View, very clever in moving on from Whoopi and the ripping up of the letter, going to MTG and getting exactly what they wanted on The View, which is somebody with the Republican name on them. And I'm not trying to say one way or the other what I think about that, but going in there and hitting the Republicans during the shutdown. That's what The View got. You can all weigh in what you think about that. You might like it, you might not. And that's not for me to say. I'm in my lane. I'm not into the politics of it. I'm just here to tell you The View is doing what The View does. And whether it's ripping up letters or getting a conservative on who'll say who will agree with Sonny, that's what's going on. Guys, final thoughts on The View.
The View is not anti-Republican. It's not anti-conservative. It's anti-Trump. So they'll bring on anyone as long as they brought on Anthony Weiner, a man convicted of horrific crimes involving minors, because he agreed to come on and say Orange Man bad.
The Wiener. Jonas, you want to weigh in on this? We haven't let you hop in very much on this. You want in?
No, it's I look at Whoopi's face, and as a person who sometimes makes jokes with a very deadpan delivery, I can understand if that was a joke, and I can also understand if you work closely with Sunny Hostin on a regular basis, rolling your eyes when she provides you a note telling you what you have to do. So, I found some satisfaction in that sound of the card being ripped directly next to Whoopi's microphone there. I think this is something where they are going to have to make some kind of change long term, whether that's reducing budgets, whether that is moving this to a different format. I think they just need to find whatever the niche is for this kind of content. And it may be YouTube, but I don't think it needs to be ABC broadcast during the day. So,
can you imagine if The View tried to do what we do on YouTube? Can you imagine? Can you imagine them with super chats? I want Mexican Iron Man sending in the super chats to The View. Please do it. As ever, folks, we endeavor to have a good time here on the Pro Channel, and I have to say that spending time with you, talking about things that truly matter, like the stories that shape our lives and our culture, well, it is the ride of a lifetime, to steal from Bob Iger. And that's the only thing we'll steal from Bob, because he has great security around his yacht. Folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. And folks, worry not, for more content is still on the way. 3 or 4 times a day. Let's do 4. I think that's better. And you know what? Don't forget that the Pro Show is live Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. You can also join us for our friends on That Park Place, our partner program. We have a good time there too. Folks, until the next time we get the opportunity to have a good time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.